What's up, guys? It's DJ. Welcome to Gamma Bro Hulk Reviews. Now for your Gamma dose of the Jade Giant. Today's featured Hulk item is this really awesome 10-inch Diamond Select, Marvel Select Hulk Unleashed figure. And the review is coming up next. Thanks for joining me today, guys. So this is a good one. Diamond Select is a company that had the Marvel license for a very long time. They have action figures, other merchandise, statues, mini busts, Marvel Gallery statues. They love the Marvel license and they consistently put out pretty good products. They're pretty popular, and their figure line, which is kind of a competitor to Marvel Legends, but they're a little bit bigger scale and less articulated, is Marvel Select. And Marvel Select is around like a 9-10 inch line in regards to Hulks, and maybe like a 7-8 inch line for other characters. But the Hulks are really big, heavy, thick figures, and they're really, really good sculpts. And today's sculpt is Hulk Unleashed. This is a very, very cool sculpt, really, really popular art style of Hulk, based off a very cool run in the comics. And this run has many different awesome covers of Hulk, and the specific figure Hulk Unleashed is based off a comic cover with Hulk standing and a planet exploding in the background. And if you check out my thumbnail of this video, on the right hand side I have that actual image, and it's pretty identical to what the figure looks like, which is awesome. And now here's what the figure looks like. So Marvel Selects, I always go back and forth with which figures I like more between Marvel Legends and Marvel Select figures. A lot of people love 6-inch figures, and that's definitely a more popular line. But in regards to Hulk and putting him on the shelf, Hulk being the big badass that he is, like just these bigger, beefier figures just look cooler to me. So here's the Hulk Unleashed face. I will do a little overview quickly, and then I will jump into sculpts. But the anatomy, the sculpt just looks really, really good. Tons of presence, and overall just a really cool figure. So for face, this is more of a Bruce Banner humanized face. I think you can get a lot of human emotion out of this face. It's a good mix between Banner and Hulk, and I think you can get a lot of seriousness out of the eyes. So for sculpt, I really do like it. Now, they really focused heavily on texturing, and it's kind of an upside and a downside, because when you get to a distance like this, I think it looks great. But when you get really up close and personal with it, there's just a lot of texturing. And it kind of reminds me of like Freddy Krueger with like a burnt, melted face. But that's just the texturing itself and the paint mixed with that. But I don't think it's bad at all. I think the sculpt is awesome. It's just, in certain areas, the texturing is just like insanely overhauled. Good hair sculpt. I think it's more of a human Bruce Banner hair than Hulk. A little messy, but it's not wide and just exuding emotion with growling teeth or anything. So this head is good. And for art purposes, it's really good. But for portraying like a raged Hulk, it's maybe not as good as like a Savage Hulk head sculpt. Huge traps in the back, really nice defined chest and abs. Again, you can just take a look at the extreme texture work they do, and the veins just popping and protruding out of the chest. All the different abs and tons of different texture work. Pretty big shoulders, pretty big arms. So nice tries and buys. Again, look at just the vascularity of that. Very, very defined all the way out through the forearms, into the hands. Same with this side. So the right hand is a fist, the left hand is an open hand. For the picture, he has both open hands, and I kind of like that more, but for an action figure purposes, you gotta have at least one Hulk fist just so he can actually punch if you do play with it. I like the ripped pants. I love that they went with blue. Very accurate to the comics. Incredible texture work. They actually painted the nails, something that Marvel Legends just doesn't do. Crazy texture work. Pants are longer and cover his calves, which is cool. A lot of texture work on the back of the pants. Just a humongous back. Again, those lats really extend the back and just very, very wide, very accurate anatomy. Absolutely love it. So for sculpt of this, for staying consistent with the artwork and just being very detailed, and definitely an awesome era of Hulk art. I definitely love it. So I will give Hulk Unleashed Sculpt a 9.6. I think it's very, very, very good. So as for paint, I think Diamond Select, Marvel Select blows Marvel Legends out of the water in regards to paint as well. So you just have the black painted hair, eyebrows and eyes look good. The line in between the lips just to give it definition. Just in this, we have light greens, dark greens, browns, all these different colors mixed in there. Just look at the chest. So you go from dark green on the right hand side and blacks and browns on the left, fading into a lighter green, into browns, all these different areas. Look at all the texture work and paint on the abs, all the green highlights and brown highlights. Again, they painted the nails. Look at the texture work on the nails. The pants have different highlights. They have grays, a little bit of white, a little bit of brown with that blue mixed in there. It's beautiful looking. Even on the corners of all the edges of the pants, they highlight them in browns and grays just to make it pop and bring it out. Again, painted the nails, all the definition and highlights in the back. Just, it's amazing. All the texture work there to bring out the pockets. So for paint for this piece, it's very, very, very good. I'll give it a 9.8. I think it's excellent. You can't really get much better paint-wise. I think it hits the mark in all areas and is extremely accurate to the comics. So excellent job on Marvel Select with paint. So we'll get into quality. Marvel Select's quality. Here's how I see it. I think Marvel Legends are more of a toy to play with. I think Marvel Select are more of a keep it posed and put it on the shelf for the looks. In regards to quality, I wouldn't play with this as much. I mean, you can. You can throw this around and have kids use it. But with the lack of articulation compared to Marvel Legends and the weight and quality of PVC, it's a better, higher quality PVC, way heavier, definitely harder to play with. But the quality is just better than Marvel Legends, other than articulation. But actual quality of the product, it's definitely better. They put pins in all their joints to cover them up. Just overall, the quality is very, very, very good for these. I will give quality of this figure a 9.6. So we'll get into a size comparison. So these figures are very, very, very large. So here is my trusty sidekick next to my Hulk Unleashed, 4.5 inches and goes up to his thigh. So this is what a 10-inch figure looks like next to a 4.5-inch figure. So here is a comparison I recently did with a Target exclusive Hulk. This is a very, very popular video, blew up in regards to my channel, and I was kind of harsh on it, but here is why. I mean, you will see a comparison. So this is, you know, a 7-inch figure compared to a 10-inch figure. So here's a size difference. So the width of chest compared to this one. So here's the detailing in the chest, the different tones of paint, how I said they were different shades. But just look at the shininess and the lack of texture compared to this. Compare the paint, different colors paint. They don't even get the colors right on this, on the arms to the torso. Look at the paint of this. Pants, texturing, variations of paints. No paint on the nails, paint on the nails. Very strange back, amazing back. Look at the difference. These little tabs on the side, different color greens, all matched, all toned. Just a very, very big difference in quality, size, presence. So that is the size difference, quality, paint, and sculpt difference between an older body sculpt of Marvel Legends versus an older body sculpt of Marvel Select. Now, in regards to playability and sculpt with articulation mixed in there, here is where kids, teens, young kids who actually play with figures will have a much better time playing with the Marvel Legends compared to something like this. Because just holding this is heavy. It's not highly articulated. It's not meant to be played with and articulated constantly. And this is definitely Marvel Select's downfall overall. So this is as high up as you can go with the arm, with the shoulder. It will do a 360 all the way around. And you can prop it up high. Extends out about this far. There is no bicep swivel. There's only a single joint in the arm, and it goes to about there. These are ratchet joints, so you will hear the clickiness to the ratchet. There's only a wrist rotation. There's no swivel. So same for the other side. Single joint, only wrist swivel. There is waist swivel. There's no waist ab crunch at all. Now, in regards to legs, you can rotate it and extend the leg out like this with the ball joint right here. It goes out decently far, but it doesn't extend out this way or this way naturally. You just have to rotate the ball. And it's kind of always at an angle. Again, you can see the pins for the joints. There is an awkward thigh rotation, but it's still there and it's good. Knee rotation, it's about, it doesn't go even about like close to 90 degrees. It's only a single joint. That's about as high as it goes. So it does not articulate all that much. There is no shin articulation at all. There is ankle articulation here, but no rotation. Does not rotate or swivel. So that is the downfall of Marvel Selects. I also didn't cover head rotation, so that's as high as the head goes up. That's as high as the neck goes down, the head goes down, and it will do a 360 around either direction. So there is that. But in regards to articulation, this is definitely Marvel Selects, not its strong suit. Given that, I will give articulation for this figure a 8. I think it hits all areas it needs to hit, but it does not put it in highly posable, highly articulated poses. So you're going to get very stagnant poses. It's mostly going to be museum poses, meaning like non-action, just standing straight up, arms positioned in a way where he's flexing and looking intimidating, but you're not going to get him in crazy action poses. That is definitely where Marvel Legends figures excel more than Marvel Select. So if you play with your toys and you have kids play with your toys, I definitely recommend Marvel Legends, like the one up there, over something like this. Now for presents, Marvel Select Hulk figures have a shit ton of presents. Absolutely excellent. You put these on the shelf, they stand out. Very intimidating looking and very imposing. Sculpt, excellent presence overall. So I will give the presence to this a 9.9. They definitely excel with their size, weight, sculpt, just actual look. So putting on these shelves these are the Hulks to have for sure. So overall, these are all pretty high scoring scores for most categories for this figure, except for articulation. So with the articulation being an 8 and all the scores being high 9s, it's going to average around about 9.6. I think that's an excellent score. So if you're younger and you want to play with a Hulk, I do not recommend Marvel Select figures to play with. You can play with them, but you're not going to get fun articulated poses. And these figures are heavy, and they are going to probably damage other figures if you whack them really hard with these figures, but they're very, very hard plastic, very heavy. So I really don't recommend forcefully playing with these figures. But if you just want to pose them on your shelf, they're the best action figures for that. They look the best, even better than Legends in my opinion. I definitely recommend those for older teens, young adults, older adults. As for packaging, so here's the thing. I really don't like Marvel Select packaging. If you have presence with the packaging, I would actually score it lower. I always pretty much open my Marvel Selects. I think the packaging's awkward, gets damaged easy, and it just doesn't look all that good, to be honest. So definitely open those up. And the packaging is huge because these are 10-inch figures. So when you have it's gigantic packaging on top of that, they take up a ton of room as well. Definitely open those up. And if you are a type of person that likes new figures, I would just buy it new in the package, then open it up for yourself and put it on the shelf. As for buying it opened, I don't mind that. If somebody really plays with the joints and I'm not sure how those figures hold up if you're constantly moving the joints consistently. I don't do that. So if there are kids out there that did play with it, I'm not sure how the joints would hold up over time. So there's that to look out for if you do buy it opened. But for quality and paint stuff, you'll have no worries with buying in the used market. Diamond Selects are a little bit more expensive, new, compared to Legends. Diamond Selects are about $35. Legends are in the 20s. They're creeping up there. They're starting to get more expensive, but they're not at the Marvel Select range in regards to the price. Hulks tend to go up a little bit over time if they don't keep consistently remaking them. Marvel Select, Diamond Select does like to keep making new batches of older figures, keep putting them out. A lot of the popular figures will get remade over and over and over again, like Juggernauts, Abomination, a lot of different Hulks get remade. So you can find them new pretty consistently. So don't overpay for these figures. But there are a couple rare ones that never got re-released due to not as popular of a figure. So those ones will be a little bit more. So like $50 maybe plus shipping. I wouldn't pay any more than that for these figures. But that's about the range you're looking at. That's it overall. So an overall score of 9.6. A very cool figure, a fun figure. I hope you guys like the review. And I'll see you in the next video. So have a wonderful day and take care. Peace.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.